Bye, bye,
Okay, we gotta turn this down
baby.
because this is gonna get Daddy and Uncle in trouble if they hear this. Granted, it's playing on YouTube, so it shouldn't, but do you want to sit down over there? No, you just want to sit on Daddy's lap? Okay, you can sit on Daddy's lap for the show. You ready?
One second. Are you tomorrow?
Oh,
It's
sure.
Duke right now.
From Sober AF?
Yeah, we're supposed to have a call today. Okay. Okay. Are you available? What time? All right, I'm ready. Sorry, ready to go.
No problem.
Ooh. And my lighting. I get some light over here.
What's up, sports fans? Thanks for tapping into some Untapped Keg Sports, where we talk about Wisconsin sports, NFL, MLB. You know, we don't let it stop us. We talk about what we think is interesting. We are part of the Believe Podcast Network. Look us up, BLEAV. And I'm one of your hosts, RJ Zimmerman, here with the touchdown king himself, Monte Ball. How you doing, big guy?
Dude, I tell you what, man. Ever since I started this diet, I'm doing 2-a-days now, and been waking up at like 6:45 a.m. Maybe a little bit like 6:30, right? Getting a workout in, getting some water in me pretty early, and making sure I'm drinking over a gallon a day. Dude, I feel great.
That's a lot of water. You have to force it. You have to put a funnel in your mouth and just pour it in at a certain point.
It gets tough. So I walk around with the jug, of course, and I force it. But doing 2-a-days, you know what I mean? Working out twice a day is going to make you drink a lot more. But I'm feeling great. That's most definitely the cheat code, man. How have you been?
You know, got a little bit of a sickness going around. That's why you can see my youngest right here. He's not feeling good and wants to sit on Daddy's lap, which is okay with me. And pretty soon he's going to want nothing to do with me. So I soak it all in. Things are pretty good besides the sickness, and we're potty training, so I'm probably gonna have a puddle on my lap here shortly. And you know, it's been going well though, and you know, the Packers won, and we can talk about that later. The Bucks are still fine. Corbin Burns, Cy Young, what? Let's go, baby. I thought he was the most deserving, but I didn't think he was still going to win it. And part of it is because small market. But that's starting to turn around in baseball. That's awesome to see. I just wish the games were more accessible. Please, MLB, love your fans, please. And, you know, there's some news based on the shows that we have had the past couple shows talking about Aaron Rodgers and COVID, right?
Right.
Some news came out yesterday about a certain athlete who
on the Bucks
likes nothing but bad press. Period. Right?
Oh, yeah.
No, we're talking about the same person, but it's like
Buccaneers. Yeah.
What is going on, Antonio Brown? Like, seriously.
I think at this point, man, it's safe to say that he's the type that unfortunately took the advice that there's no such thing as bad press. All press is good press, which that is not true. That is absolutely not true. And at this point, there's nothing else for us to think about or to assume, because it's from all the stuff that he's done before to the outbursts, to the leaving teams and then not showing up, to now, you know, you won a Super Bowl, right? Things have been going well ever since you landed in Tampa Bay. And now this fake vaccination card. The fake vaccination card we were all under the impression that that team was 100% vaccinated.
Right. And, it started with their quarterback. And, it was a big thing for them that there's no distractions, that there's going to be nothing. We ain't going to worry about any of the protocols and everything. So for those that don't know, reports are out and they're not completely substantiated yet that Antonio Brown purchased a fake vaccination card, proof of vaccination, so that he did not have to follow NFL protocols. And it's just going from Aaron Rodgers to this, right?
Yeah.
Just a straight up lying.
You cannot trick the NFL.
And
they're too thorough.
Yeah. I mean,
too thorough. Both examples. You cannot trick the NFL. They're too thorough. There's so many checkpoints that these certain topics, these certain issues have to go through, right?
Mm-hmm.
People's hands, checkpoints. Too thorough. And so I hope for folks moving forward, look at the Aaron Rodgers situation and the Antonio Brown situation, be like, all right, they couldn't, sneak past the NFL's protocols. So I'm going to most definitely get what I need to get done. And it's just unfortunate, man. I mean, I think it's just one of those things where it's what do you think Brady's thinking? Brady has he stated it? I don't know if he's verbally shared it that the team was 100% vaccinated. But, he was hanging his hat on that. You know what I mean? Like, boom, I got the team to rally behind.
And the thing is, like, Brady has gone to bat for Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he has.
Every single time that it's been necessary, he's been there. He's been there lockstep. Like, I got you. I'm going to bring, we're going to make this better. Like, just follow my lead, follow my example.
Right.
It's like,
he lived it. Antonio Brown lived with with Brady.
Yes. And when you heard back when Antonio Brown was the best wide receiver in the NFL, which was like a 7-year span. Like, it was not just like for 2 years. It was year over year, every year. You heard about his legendary work ethic, right? You heard about, he's like a 6th or 7th round pick. Like, he was not a highly drafted receiver.
SMU? Yeah.
Yeah.
Down there in Texas, a small school down there in Texas. Doak Walker went there.
He has worked his butt off to get where he is, right? And he's showing that he still has it this year. But since the end of the Steeler era,
oh man,
to me, what it looks like from the outside is the success went to his head, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just feels like he's owed all this. And that's the way it feels. It doesn't necessarily mean that's how it is. But from the outside looking in, like, he worked his butt off and he got there, and good on him, because you don't just get to be the best the receiver in the NFL and as dominant as he was and the way that he was dominant. But it's to the point now where he's acting like a spoiled child. Yeah. A diva.
Yeah.
I mean, not even and like a really bad one. Like,
that's exactly what it is.
Person.
That's exactly what it is. Because again, you got the, arguably, of course, to some still arguably, but the greatest player of all time, the quarterback position, is hanging his name on yours, right?
Yeah.
Extended that olive branch for you, and you're lying. And you're lying. And here's the deal. I'm glad that you brought up the whole point about the 7-year span for Antonio Brown of him being dominant. I think that is relevant because Antonio Brown would not be in the league if he didn't have those 7 years of dominating.
You're right.
All the crap that he's been doing, he would have been gone already, but he's just that good. Yeah. So that's why it's so crazy to folks where it's like, dude, just keep your mouth shut. Not in a disrespectful way, not the whole shut up and dribble. That's not what I'm saying. Just take care of yourself, right? Just stop the outbursts, get paid, and win a Super Bowl again. Well, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, I'm not saying that money and championship rings bring happiness. Oop, just smacked my mic right there. That doesn't bring, championship rings and money doesn't bring happiness. But again, seems like obviously this man needs some mental health treatment, some mental health care, and that needs to be added. But again, I'm sure there had to have been players who have said that to him. But at the end of the day, he's got to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way no one has been like, hey, man, I see a therapist and I think it's wonderful. Hey, I'm not saying it's your thing, but I'm just letting you know it's helped me in XYZ.
Do you think somebody said that to him, or do you think that they've just been like, dude, you need some help, and then walk back past? Because that's true. That's true. That seems to be more likely. Like, I
was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Between this and the Aaron Rodgers thing, I'm just so tired, right?
Because it's unnecessary stuff.
And I've been thinking about this. Like, my kids are 2 and 3. They cannot get vaccinated. And the one that's in my lap right now is very sensitive to lung issues. He's had RSV twice. Every single time he gets a cold, it's like he probably has asthma, to tell you the truth. We can't get him tested because our insurance stinks. Thank you, USA. The fact that we cannot even take care of one another, like, that's what I'm so disappointed about with this entire thing, is we can't take care of one another. It's that point in a zombie movie where you're like, there's no way that a person would be bit and not say anything, or there's no way they wouldn't work together at this point. Like, 3/4 of the United States, and honestly, it's like half the world in a pandemic that has killed millions of people, are being selfish. And you think it's like you put this in a script and people would not believe it. But no, the reality is worse than what you would put in a script. And just do better by one another, period. Like, is it really about the person next to you, or is it all about me? Because Aaron Rodgers and Antonio Brown, it's all about me. It's not about the person next to me. That's the truth.
At this point, man, just like you said, there's a bunch of people right now walking around with a zombie bite, covering up and not telling everybody. It's like, the outcome, what's going to happen, right? Yeah. You're eventually going to catch it, and hopefully it's not too bad for you. But statistically speaking, I guess obviously depending on your demographic, of course, and all that stuff, I mean, you can get hit pretty hard. But long story short, man, I'm at this point now, man, to where I'm over it. Just let natural selection take its course. And people can bash me for saying that or whatever, but we are going into year 3.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yep.
1, 2, going into year 3. And the same folks who weren't vaccinated back when the vaccinations came out, they're still not, they're not going to get, they're not, it's not going to happen. So I'm over it. I'm done with it. It is what it is. People will sit back. And again, I'm a religious person. I am. I don't believe in a white man sitting in the clouds and deciding every single human being's fate, but I believe in a higher power energy. 99% is science, but that 1% cannot be explained. That God particle, something had to have created that. And so, but for me, it's like folks will sit back and believe a God, that God, the white God, someone who they've never touched, someone who they've never saw, someone who they've truly actually never spoken to. Let's be honest here. Before they believe in science. Virology, SARS that we've been studying since 2004. Not since we haven't been studying it since 2020, you guys. This has been studied since 2004, the SARS. It's just a mutation. That was just COVID. But the foundation of it is SARS. And so that's just what it is. It's just ignorance mixed with pride. Because right now, folks are at the point now where it's like, even if some folks will even get the vaccine and then still say they didn't get it. That's just the messed up part about all of this. But long story short, I'll put a cap on my opinions here, harsh opinions. The Antonio Brown situation, the Aaron Rodgers situation is obviously just microcosms of the United States of America situation. And those are two folks who arguably have some of the biggest platforms in all of America in their respective entertainment business. And they have clearly voiced their opinions based upon their actions. And so they got kids looking up to them that literally follow every step that they do, teenagers, young adults. And so at this point, let natural selection take its course, period.
I mean, they've made it clear it's all about me, not all about we. And
exactly. So when it is all about
that's
you.
why the Packers, maybe that's why the Packers haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010.
You know, one country out there. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You go.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You know, one country out there. I forget which Asian country is doing it, but if you do not get the vaccine and you catch COVID, you then have to pay out of pocket for all of your expenses, or something like that. Oh no. Excuse me. No. It's if you don't get the vaccine and you catch COVID, I think it said the hospital's not going to treat you. I think it was something like that. I can pull it up. Just one of those two is correct. But long story short, in this Asian country, if you don't get the vaccine, they ain't going to help you. But I'll leave it at that. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, that's a good point, right? And you know, we're kind of relating it to sports, but at the same time, like, it's bigger than sports. But sports is where a lot of change happens. That's where a lot of change happens. So that's kind of why we put so much stock into sport, is because sports have that kind of power. And that's what I think is overlooked by a lot of people who fall into their own privilege and don't respect kind of what they have.
Yeah.
So moving on from that, looking at the NFL, your Broncos have a shot. Right now, they are in the playoffs, I believe, or they're like losing a tiebreaker for a wild card.
I'm about to pull it up.
Because the AFC is a trash fire.
Oh gosh, it's brutal.
The best team, the best record in the AFC is the Tennessee Titans.
Yep, and then the best record in the AFC West is the Chiefs, 6-4.
I mean, there were people leaving the Chiefs for dead, right? Back a few weeks ago. And it's like, hold on. Let's see, come January, who's on top. You cannot, after 4 games, leave Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid-led team on the side. But
exactly.
I've been seeing people say that Mahomes has figured it out now. I don't believe that yet. I don't think the Chiefs have completely figured out their problems. Yeah. I think the Raiders were not ready for that game. Period.
It's the Raiders. The Raiders, you can defeat their confidence pretty quickly.
And that's what you can do for a lot of. Dude, I watched that Patriots-Falcons game last night, and I wish I didn't.
I didn't get a chance to catch it, unfortunately.
The Patriots defense is real. Like, that is a for real defense. Here's a defense that's not for real. The Green Bay Packers.
Well, hold on. Given the injuries, right? Given the injuries, they played decent last game. I actually watched it.
They played excellent last game, right? They pitched a shutout. I had people coming for me on Twitter. I think it's more so about my take that this defense is bad, and they're like, "What do you think now?" Oh, our freezing cold takes or whatever. It's like Dom Capers had some historically bad defenses, and they had shutouts. They had streaks of not giving up touchdowns. Right? This happens in the NFL because you do have talent. Russell Wilson coming back from the injury helped that defense more than can be said. That offense was stuck in the mud.
Exactly. That's why I said decent.
Yeah, there were a lot of missed throws where receivers were open, but Adrian Amos, that dude balled out. Amos balled out, and he really did save that. But I don't trust this defense yet. I just want to make that known. Like, this defense is not carrying this team. And if the offense isn't going to get it going.
Well, here's the deal. You guys ran a lot of very conservative defense, rushing 3.
That's what they've done all year.
and just dropping everybody. It's not working. It's not, especially if it's easy to scout against that, because you can just pick that apart. Dump passes, just pick it apart. And if Russell was healthy, he would have picked that apart.
I mean, there were deep passes that were wide open, right? That he missed.
Those are the easiest defenses to defend or to destroy.
The thing is about like what their defense has right now, they do have fast pursuit and they are tackling really well. They're definitely missing Jair Alexander. Like, that turns that defense around. Zadarius Smith would be massive, especially if you're only going to rush 4 consistently like they do. But I don't trust this defense yet. I'm a little concerned with what I'm seeing from the offense, because it wasn't just under Jordan Love that you struggled. You struggled with Aaron Rodgers. They left a lot of points on the board.
They did.
And dude.
But I like Dylan though.
This special teams is a problem. You're missing 1 to 2 field goals a game right now.
Yeah, it's about time for him to.
There's no blocking. Like, it's a blocking. It's at a fundamental level. It's not Crosby necessarily. I mean,
how's it not?
It is some of it is him. It's the snap and the hold for some of it. You kick a 48-yard field goal and those laces ain't right, and all of a sudden the air. It doesn't matter how good a kicker you are.
Were those laces not right for his kicks?
For a couple of them, the laces were not right. The laces were not out.
Okay, that's a couple out of how many's he missed this year?
Of the 4, like, it's 2, so that's a lot, right? And then he's had kicks blocked. Like, that's a blocking issue. There's been it's not just the kicking, although I'm not going to just say Crosby's not to blame completely. It's not just the kicking. It goes deeper than that.
Get him out of there. He needs to hang it up.
I mean, he hit a 56-yard field goal. You can hit a 56-yard field goal. You can still kick. It's not like Morton Anderson where it's 45 and end.
He's turning into Grammatica.
Yeah. Which one, Bill or Martine?
Martine.
So, I think the Packers are in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed. They are in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed in the NFC. I don't believe it yet. And they definitely need to clean some stuff up, but
they do.
They're sitting okay. Like you said in the NFL, a win's a win. Get a win. So,
right. Absolutely. Yeah. I like when I was watching them, I'm obviously heavy offense, watching that offense. I'm a big fan of the way Dylan runs.
Yeah.
Big fan of the way he runs. I like how much momentum he already has. As soon as he gets the ball, his weight is so forward already. And so he's going to fall forward. He's going to bring that power behind his shoulder pads. And I love also, too, the runs from the gun, right? When he shuffles his feet. You'll see some running backs, right, shuffle their feet, but they're still not closing in on the line of scrimmage. He does a great job of, when he shuffles his feet from the gun, when he gets the handoff, he's still closing in on the line of scrimmage while he's like just kind of waiting for that play that hole to open up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty good running.
They really are, like, him and Jones being the 1-2 is really special. Like, that's why I was going to say, that's why, like, their receivers being Devontae Adams and a bunch of number 4s is not the worst thing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe, Lazard could be a number 3, but he ain't a number 2, right? He has not quite stepped up to what fans were hoping he would be. MVS, I think, is getting closer, but yeah, it's definitely like Adams and then a bunch of number 3s at the very least. So
when you look at it, the top, in my opinion, the 3 teams right now who have perfected the 2-back tandem, Browns, Broncos, Packers.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think Chubb and Hunt are the number 1 tandem.
Number 1.
And then
absolutely,
I would probably put Jones and Dillon and then Gordon and Williams.
Broncos. Yep. Can't disagree with that. I think that they've perfected the 2-back system. Absolutely. And it's beneficial. Mm-hmm. It's working big time for all 3 clubs. So yeah.
Keep them fresh. Keep those legs fresh come January. What have you seen in the NFL that you are excited to see how it works in January this year, like playoff time, come playoff time? Is there really anything? Like, I want to see Arizona's offense come January, because I don't know if Arizona's offense is as explosive against good defenses that have are really, that's what they're preparing for. I'm not sure it's going to hold up. I don't. That's what I'm interested in.
Cardinals in January. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Cardinals
I can see
offense.
that. Cardinals offense in see, I'm feeling the same exact way, but with the Broncos, if the Broncos are to sneak in, that Broncos offense against a really good defense is going to be a struggle, big time.
And I mean, they have weapons, right? And I think Teddy Bridgewater can lead a winning team. Many quarterbacks have led like very, very good teams as a similar quarterback as Teddy Bridgewater. Rich Gannon, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, right? Like, they're all similar pocket passers, not the greatest arm, like not going to win a game. Well, can win a game on their own, but not as they can't do it often, right? Right. I think Bridgewater's better than Cousins.
I'd take Bridgewater over Cousins.
I think Bridgewater's better than Cousins.
I'd take Bridgewater over Cousins for sure. So
if they could get Judy, Patrick,
Rodgers,
and Sutton going, like, and then you have Fant, like, you have four. Your wide receivers they could go against any wide receiver core in the league. Like, Buccaneers, I think, is number one, but then you could argue that the Broncos, and then like, gosh dang it, I just had the team in my mind, Arizona.
Yes.
So Arizona is up there too, but like, that's a really talented group. You got like 3 number 2 wide receivers there and maybe 2 number 1s.
Yeah, the two back system with really good running backs that could take it 99. So
if they could get it figured out, yes, like I am interested in this Broncos, if the Broncos can get into. Right. So their defense definitely needs to solidify a little bit.
True. I still think I don't. It's not going to be this year, in my opinion. Not this year, winning the AFC. But it's again. Bridgewater has played well. Mm-hmm. Not exceptionally well, not great, but he's played well. Mm-hmm. He's played okay. But
he is not the reason for their struggles.
And no, most definitely not. But I think it's time to really push all the chips in the middle and get your quarterback. That doesn't mean get rid of Teddy next year, right? Maybe just get a quarterback behind him, right? Who's going to be your Mac Jones in the future? Is going to be your I was going to say Daniel Jones, but I'm not too sure about him anymore.
After the first year, there were flashes, but last year was really like raise your eyebrows. Is this real? And then this year, it's the same thing. It's like, it's just not coming together, unfortunately. Sam Darnold, too. I really thought getting Sam Darnold out of the Jets and away from Gase was going to be awesome. And then it was awesome the first 4 weeks. But, man, midnight called and Sam Darnold turned back into a pumpkin.
Right. I think it's one of the Mac Jones, man. God dang, man. Those Patriots, they just know how to do it.
Well, he's fine, but he turns the ball over a lot. So if he gets a defense that can capitalize on that, they're not ready yet. He's not ready yet. Like, he's showing flashes though, for sure. Like, he is solid. He is very solid. Like, watching
his stats are better than Brady's first 10 game stats.
But that was different teams, right? Those were completely different teams. Like, they were even more run heavy than,
It's not, you can't do apples to apples.
Yeah.
Essentially on that. But it's good
for him. It's good for Jones. Right. Like, I think they do have their quarterback of the future. Belichick lucked his way into that one. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. We are getting down to the wire here of last couple games of the season. Playoff berths or no playoff berths are going to be happening here within the next 4 weeks. So it's going to get exciting. We're going to have a lot of content, but I wanted to quickly, I know we're going to do a little shorter one here, but kind of talk about some FCF, man, coming up, right? I think
coming up in spring.
In the spring. So if you guys remember, right, FCF football, baby. We did that, what? Was that last year? Was that 2020? Right?
Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah. Last year spring. We did that. That's right. The Wild Aces, they did win it all. My Glacier boys came in second, right? Took the consolation prize. But again, it's going to be exciting. So they're coming back, you guys, again in the spring.
So here's what I heard. Already. I found some information out last night. So they're partnering with Peacock. They got some more money to be able to put on more production. So you're going to be able to watch it, not just on Twitch. We're going to be able to watch it on Peacock streaming apps. So it's going to be available there, which is awesome. Obviously their app is huge. Use their, to be able to draft teams. So for those who don't know, like this league it's like arena football, but the fans have all the control, right?
Yeah.
So on Thursdays, you literally draft your team. So what they have is a giant pool of players, and they go through like their training camps and stuff. They keep the fans informed. They film it. They put it out. And then you get one franchise tag for the teams. So you get to franchise a player right away. So a lot of teams went with quarterbacks. A few went with wide receivers. And then it's 7-on-7. And that's come game day, right? Yep. And then and it's short 50-yard fields, but there's no field goals. So you got to go for 2. Fans pick all the plays, like it's majority of vote. That's where it goes. And then there's 8 teams this year. Last year there were 4. So there's 8. They doubled them. And all the players are obviously paid by the league. So an owner is more like an influencer owner is what they go with. Yeah. So you're not you're not reliant on owners to pay the players and actually be responsible with their finances, which is why the AAF, which is why, the USFL all folded, is because they had irresponsible owners who ended up not being able to pay bills. So that's why this is going to stick around. And then they're still so small, they're able to pivot. So like last year, there were a couple rules that were making the games go long. They changed them.
That's what I love.
In order to make the game shorter. So the games you're looking at about an hour to hour 20 minutes per game. It's awesome. It's so great.
I think those last 2 points that you, outside of the obvious perks, which is picking the own plays, I love those 2 last points, right? Where it's you have an organization, the FCF, where they're actually going to listen to the fans. Mm-hmm. If you're complaining, sending messages into them about certain stuff, which happened last year, they changed it. In the NFL, obviously, there's so much red tape. If they agree to change something, it's not going to come into effect until 5 years.
Well, look at the taunting, right? Like the taunting, that would be changed in the FCF after week 1. It would have been changed immediately. Or like the roughing the passers, changed. Like it's not you. Like a roughing the passer is a real roughing the passer in the FCF, and they're out there. The competition last year was really good.
Yeah. I had my other point, and then point 2 of what you said. Yeah, that I really liked was the
short games.
The short games. I think that is huge too, right? Because obviously you sitting down for NFL games, you're getting 2 hours 45 minutes, 3 hours, right? Sometimes it's
3.5. It's
a little hard to. Sometimes 3.5, yeah, depending on timeouts, if they're running the football a lot or if they're passing the ball a lot. It can be shorter or longer. So, sometimes it's a little difficult to obviously commit to 3.5 hours, 3 hours, or even 2 hours and 45 minutes. But the FCF, baby, hour and 20 in and out. That's what I love about it too. It's sometimes, some of those games, right? We're finishing at an hour.
Yeah.
Just 1 hour in and out. And that's, I'll give you my hour. Boom. We'll watch it. So what we're going to do, RJ, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be doing the same screen setups, bringing some players on.
We'll be co-streaming it. We'll have guests and have a lot of fun watching it like we did last year. We'll try to have the same people come back too and get some new ones, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun. And we'll talk about it when it gets closer because they're shooting for spring. They're having tryouts soon, so look up FCF if you want to go hit a tryout up. Monte Ball. Right. See if you can play.
I can still get 3 yards. I think I can still get 3 yards in the league.
I think this would be like up your alley, right? For a style of play, but that's all right.
Too old now. Too past my prime now. Too past my prime.
I'm just saying it would be fun.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be entertaining. The only thing I really like the most about the FCF again is the not so much red tape. We were a startup podcast. We quickly got one of their top players in the entire league on our show multiple times. We got folks from the league now following us, paying attention to what we're saying. We're gonna boost the heck out of it, man, because we enjoy it, we like it, and we want fans' feedback as well. Fans of Untapped Keg, listeners, please bring you on too. We'll bring you on the show too, right? We'll do a 3-screen, 3-box stream. We'll bring you on if you want to watch the game with us. It's gonna be entertaining.
Hit us up and let us know what your favorite team is. I mean, I'm going to be repping my Wild Aces again this year. Champions, no big deal. And
Glacier Boys. Glacier Boys just sounds so much better.
Listen, okay, I mean, when it gets to it, and the Ice Mice are playing the Wild Aces again.
Ice Mice, that is what you're calling.
We will have some fun for sure. And, we talk trash, but it's all in fun. Like, we don't take it serious, but we do talk trash for real.
Of course.
That was some of the most fun content we made around sports last year. And we are excited for it to come back. And I'm glad you brought this up because I forgot that we were talking about it. And like, it just gets me excited. I love their idea. It's their second year. It did really well last year. And
refreshing.
They had a lot of players like go into camps and win some jobs, which is awesome. True. And we're still pimping for Andrew Jamil. Needs a freaking invite to prove himself, because once he comes in, he ain't leaving without a contract guaranteed. So NFL, hit him up. CFL, hit him up.
The quarterback from he was in the AAF, Heineke, right?
Yeah,
he's now with Washington Football Club team.
Yeah, and then PJ Walker, who's the backup for the Panthers, came from the XFL.
That's right. He was a beast.
I mean, Dearness Johnson, who's been running wild for the Browns. The Browns might have a 3-headed monster now there. He came from the AAF.
That's what I love to see, man. Because again, when we talk about all of these sports have developmental leagues. Mm-hmm. But in the NFL, if you get cut or released and no one picks you up, it's your chances of getting back in. It's already pretty much impossible to get into the NFL when you look at the numbers. Mm-hmm. But then if you make it and get released and clear waivers and no one picks you up, your chances of getting back in have drastically declined. And that's just unfortunate for players because anything can happen. You can get an unfortunate injury, which is going to happen. Everybody in the NFL is going to get injured. And it's essentially out of your control. But anyways, I'm excited about this because, the AAF, which is no longer here. But again, this idea of this developmental league, FCF, right? Develop these players and give them the opportunity to put some of their skills on tape.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have been Untapped Keg Sports. This is our sports podcast. All things, fun. We are looking forward to the FCF. Thank you for tuning in. We are part of the Believe Podcast Network. We talk a lot about Wisconsin sports, but honestly, whatever piques our interest, we will go into, and we don't shy away. We look at it a little bit different too. We're not just coming with hot takes. We're not just saying worst ever, best ever. Like, F that. That's not real life. Like, we're talking about it from real life perspective. So check us out, youtube.com. Sunday mornings, we have a sobriety and mental health podcast. Please check us out. We record at 9 a.m. Central Time. And, just check out our videos. Let us know how we're doing. Hit us up on socials. We get back to you right away. And soon we might be streaming some video games. So keep an eye open for that. If you have any questions, shoot us. We'll see what we got. And where can they find you, Mons?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, MonteBall28, Instagram, MonteBall. Obviously, our Untapped Keg pages. And again, just I agree. Echo everything that RJ just stated. We're open. We're honest. Reach out. Whatever you want to see, we'll try to bring it to fruition. And just keep this bad boy going. But yeah, stay tuned. And kind of wanted to put that FCF on your guys' radar. Go do some research on that if you need to, or if you already have done that. We're looking forward to you joining us.
Let's go Wild Aces. Find me at It's Trickster, ITZ. The I is the one in Trickster. And hit us up on Untapped Keg. We're on Untapped Keg, all socials. So you're going to start seeing more of a presence. And let's go. Let's go, baby. Enjoy your weekend. Remember,